France is advising its citizens living in or travelling to Muslim countries to exercise caution. That after protests erupted over the French government's defence of the right to show controversial cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad.
It is recommended to exercise the greatest vigilance, especially while travelling and in places that are frequented by tourists or expatriate communities.
OK, let's get more details now from Charlotte Dubinsky, who joins us from Paris. Good afternoon, Charlotte. Just run through then why French authorities felt the need to do this.
This warning has been issued for those travelling and living in some Muslim-majority countries, and it comes as there are rising tensions between France and those countries over comments made by President Macron in the wake of that terror attack, the beheading of teacher Samuel Paty. President Macron said that he would defend the right to show controversial cartoons of the Muslim prophet Muhammad. Now, there is this huge anti-sentiment that is sparked up in the wake of that, with protests now in many majority Muslim countries, with some burning effigies of President Macron and a call for a boycott on French products. Well, President Macron has refused to step down over this comments, which would perhaps diffuse this situation, and he has been accused of whipping up anti-Muslim sentiment, and that's because in the wake of that terror attack there has been a crackdown on Muslim associations and of mosques that are all said to have extremist sympathies here in France, and there's already been some repercussions seen, with attacks being investigated, including an attack that took place last week in Angers in the west of France, and that was against two Jordanians, a brother and a sister, who required hospital treatment. They say they were attacked because they were speaking Arabic. Now, the charge against President Macron has been led by the Turkish President Erdogan, who suggested twice in recent days that Macron needs a mental health check. But even here in France, some Muslim associations say that they do not want these controversial cartoons to be shown in schools.
Between the freedom of expression and the deliberate will to offend the feelings of Muslims, there is the duty of brotherhood and responsibility.
There's also a growing fear here in France. One poll recently showed that 79% of people who responded to that really believed that Islamism had declared war on the country of France. And there are calls for increased vigilance, particularly around places of worship and in gatherings. And that warning comes from France's Director General of the National Police, who believes that the terror threat here is particularly high in the wake of all of this. This row between France and Muslim-majority countries seems to be widening every day, and it's spilling out now into some very serious consequences.